Hello everyone, welcome back to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest update across South Sudan and beyond. We have three important updates. First, let's take a look at survivors continue to ask for justice. Nearly 10 years after some of the worst violence during South Sudan civil war, many survivors are still waiting for justice. On Wednesday, more than 50 survivors of conflict-related sexual violence gathered in the capital city of Juba. They came together during the National Remembrance Day to remember those who suffered during the conflict and to remind the government of South Sudan that many victims are still waiting for justice. The gathering included survivors, church leaders, government officials, community representatives, and organizations that support victims. The message from the survivors was simple. They say they have waited for many years, but justice has still not arrived. Many survivors explained that the pain did not end when the fighting stopped. Instead, they continue to live with emotional pain, physical injuries, fear, and rejection from some members of society. Some survivors say they still face discrimination because of what happened to them during the war. Others say they struggle every day to rebuild their life. For many of them, the greatest disappointment is that the people they accuse of committing these crimes have not yet been brought before a court. One young woman, now 23 years old, said she was attacked during the conflict in 2017. She explained that the experience changed her life forever. She said that even today, she continued to suffer because of what happened. She believed justice would help survivors begin to heal. Another survivor also welcomed the decision by legal authorities to open an investigation. However, she said that opening a case is only the first step. She explained that survivors are waiting to see real progress. According to her, justice should not remain only on paper. People also want to see investigation completed and those found responsible facing the law. Well, this legal case began about 2 years ago. Several organizations that work on human rights and justice helped survivors present the country's first criminal complaint involving alleged war crime connected to sexual violence during the civil war. The complaint was made on behalf of 3 women. They say they suffered serious abuse during the violence in 2017. According to the organization involved, 2 of those women were only 14 years only. They were only 14 years old when the alleged crime happened. The organization say these women decided to come forward despite fear, trauma, and social pressure. For many survivors, speaking publicly about such experience is very difficult. Some worry about rejection by their communities, others fear retaliation because of these concerns. Some names have been changed to protect the identities of the survivor. So, why this case is important across South Sudan? Legal experts believe this case could become one of the most important legal cases in South Sudan's history. If the investigation continues and eventually reaches trial, it could show that serious crime committed during conflict can be investigated inside the country. For many years, human rights groups have argued that justice is necessary for lasting peace. They say that when serious crimes are ignored, victims lose confidence in the legal system. Without accountability, communities may continue to carry deep anger and pain. Many observers believe justice and peace should move together. Peace agreement can help stop fighting, but justice can help people believe that the law protects everyone equally. Earlier this year, prosecutors officially accepted the complaint for investigation. Many organizations welcomed this decision. They describe it as an important step because it showed that legal institutions were willing to examine serious allegations. Still, supporters of the survivor say much more work remains. Investigation often take time. Evidence must be collected. Witnesses may need protection. Documents must be reviewed carefully. All these steps are important to ensure fairness for everyone involved. However, survivors also say that waiting year after year increases their emotional suffering. Many believe the process should continue without unnecessary delay. Human rights organizations have repeatedly reported that many women and girls in South Sudan have experienced different forms of violence. These experiences affect families and entire communities. Some survivors require medical treatment. Others need counseling, psychological support. Many also face economic hardship because their lives were disrupted by conflict. Experts often explain that recovery from war is not only about rebuilding roads and building. It is also about helping people recover emotionally and restoring trust within society. Healing takes time. Justice is one part of that healing process. Support from families, communities, religious leaders, and government institutions also played an important role. The survivors are not only asking for criminal investigation, many also want respect. They want their voices to be heard. They want society to recognize the suffering they experience. Some say they want future generations to grow up in a country where such crime never happen again. Others hope their courage is speaking. Others hope that their courage in speaking publicly will encourage more victims to seeking help instead of remaining silent. For many survivors, justice is not only about punishment, it is also about truth, it is about recognition, it is about dignity. Well, the South Sudan has a law that allow a serious international crime to be investigated in national court. Right organizations believe this legal tool should be used whenever evidence support criminal investigations. Government officials have previously stated that they support justice and accountability. Many citizens now hope that investigation will continue according to the law and that court will be allowed to do their work independently. A fair legal process protects everyone. It protects victims, it protects the accused, and it strengthens public confidence in justice system. Well, this story is about much more than one legal case. It raises larger questions. Can survivors receive justice after many years? Can institutions investigate difficult cases fairly? Can South Sudan continue strengthening its legal system? These are questions that many citizens continue to ask. Whatever the final outcome of the investigation, many people agree on one point. The voice of survivors deserves to be heard with respect. As the country continues its journey toward peace and development, many hope that justice, reconciliation, and national unity will move forward together. And now we move to another serious story. This report comes from Lagos State, where another deadly cattle raid has once again raised concern about the safety of rural communities. Incidents like this have happened many times in different parts of South Sudan. Every time they occur, families lose loved ones, communities lose property, and fear is spread among innocent people. Let us look at what happened. 4 people killed during a cattle raid. Authorities in Ural West County said 4 people lost their life during an attack on cattle camp. According to this report, among those killed were 2 children. Several other people were injured during the violence. According to local officials, the attack happened on Wednesday morning near the Barghazal highway. People living near the cattle camp say the attack happened quickly. Gunfire broke out as army men entered the area. Elder and nearby civilians tried to escape, but some were caught in the violence. When the shooting stopped, 4 people had died. 5 others had suffered injuries. The attack left many families in shock. Parents were searching for their children. Community members rushed the injured to the nearest medical center. Others tried to gather the surviving cattle before more could be taken away. For many families, it was another painful day that they will never forget. One of the saddest part of this story is that children were among those affected. Local leaders say several young boys suffered gunshot wounds during the attack. Some were only between 7 and 9 years old. Medical workers received the injured children and immediately began treatment. Doctors worked hard to stabilize them. One child had serious injuries involving the shoulder and jaw. Health workers say the condition was very serious. Some officials explained that at least 2 children might need to be transferred to Juba so they could receive special medical care. Whenever children become victims of violence, communities experience even greater pain. Children should be attending school, playing with friends, and preparing for their future. Instead, these young victims are recovering from serious injuries caused by armed conflict. So soon after the attack, different reports began to emerge about the identity of those responsible. Some officials believe the attackers may have come from neighboring Unity State. Others say that information had not yet been confirmed. Some witnesses claim the attackers were wearing military-style uniform. However, officials warned people not to jump to conclusion before investigation are completed. At this stage, authorities continue gathering information from witnesses and local communities. Security officers will likely examine different pieces of the evidence before reaching any final conclusion. It is important to remember that early reports during violent incidents sometimes change as more facts became available. That is why investigators normally avoid making final statements until their work is complete. Community leaders say the attackers attempt to take away a very large number of cattle. According to yearly estimate, around 1,750 cattle were targeted during the raid. For many people outside South Sudan, cattle may simply appear to be farm animals, but within many South Sudanese communities, cattle carry much deeper meaning. They are an important source of food. They provide milk. They have families and income. They are used during traditional marriage ceremonies. They also represent years of hard work and family's wealth. Well, losing cattle can therefore create major financial hardship. For some families, cattle represent everything they own. When they disappear, people may lose their only source of income. That is why cattle raid often create long-lasting suffering that continues well after the violence has ended. Officials say security forces were quickly deployed after receiving report of the attack. Local youth also joined effort to recover the stolen animals. According to authorities, many of the cattle were successfully recovered before the attackers could escape. However, not every animal was returned. Some livestock remained missing. Officials have not yet released final numbers regarding the total losses. Communities are now hoping that security operation will help prevent another attack in the coming days. Residents also want authorities to continue searching for those responsible. Many people ask the same question whenever another cattle raid occurred. Why do these attacks continue? The answer is not simple. In some cases, cattle are stolen for economic reasons. People see them as valuable property that can be sold or exchanged. In other situations, all dispute between communities may contribute to violence. Revenge attacks sometimes happen after earlier incidents. Competition over grazing land and water can also increase tension, especially during difficult seasons. Another challenge is the availability of illegal weapons. When army groups have easy access to firearms, a small disagreement can quickly become deadly confrontation. Experts have often said that reducing violence requires more than a military operation alone. Communities also need dialogue, trust, education, and economic opportunity. Every time violence breaks out, ordinary people suffer the most. Farmers cannot safely work their land, children miss school, families leave their homes, business slow down, health services become more difficult to reach. Fear began to affect daily life. People start worrying about traveling between villages, and market become less active. Development project may also slow because insecurity make it difficult for workers to operate safely. This is why many leaders continue to say that improving security is necessary for long-term development. Without peace, it becomes much harder to improve education, healthcare, agriculture, and business. After the attack, many local leaders appealed for calm. They encourage communities not to seek revenge. Instead, they ask people to allow security forces to carry out investigation. Religious leaders have also repeatedly encouraged forgiveness and peaceful dialogue. Many believe that cycle of revenge only creates more suffering. Every retaliatory attack often leads to another response. As a result, innocent families continue paying the highest price. Well, breaking this cycle requires patience, leadership, and cooperation from everyone involved. Many observers believe several steps could reduce future cattle rate. First, a stronger security patrol may help protect vulnerable communities. Second, local peace committee can encourage communication between neighboring areas before disagreement become violent. Third, young people need better educationals and employment opportunities. When young people have positive opportunities, they may be less likely to become involved in armed violence. And finally, communities themselves play an important role. Local elders, chiefs, women, youth leaders, and religious leaders often have great influence in promoting peace. Working together may help solve disputes before lives are lost. Let's move on to our final top story. Police officer in Juba appear before court. A police captain appeared before a police court in Juba as legal proceeding continue over allegation that he assaulted a teenage boy. The case has received significant public attention since a video of the incident circulated widely on social media earlier this year. Many people watched the video and shared different opinions online. Some called for strong legal action. Others argued that everyone deserves a fair trial before any conclusion are reached. The case has now entered another stage as lawyers from both sides presented legal argument before the court. During the latest court session, the defense lawyers asked the court to dismiss several charges against the police officer. The defense argued that prosecutors had not yet met the legal requirement needed for those particular charges to continue. According to the defense team, the law requires certain evidence before the court can proceed under a specific section of the law. The lawyers say that some important legal conditions had not yet been satisfied. For that reason, they requested that those charges be removed from the case. The prosecution, however, continued to maintain that the legal process should move forward. Both sides presented their argument before the court, and the judge listened carefully before deciding that more evidence should first be heard. The defense lawyer focused on several legal questions. They argued that the alleged victims had not appeared before the court during this stage of the proceeding. According to the defense, this was an important legal requirement for one of the charges. Second, they argued that there was no clear evidence that show that the police officer was officially performing his duties when the incident happened. The defense explained that some police laws apply only when an officer is carrying out official responsibility. If an officer is not officially on duty, the lawyers argue that those particular provisions may not apply. The defense also questioned another charges related to causing injury. According to the lawyers, they believe such a case should be initiated by the alleged victim rather than by the police administration. They also stated that no medical report had yet been presented in court to confirm the injuries that were alleged. These legal arguments form the main part of the defense presentation during the hearing. The prosecution presented a different position. The lead prosecutor explained that the hearing had mainly been scheduled to allow the defense to present its argument. The prosecutor also said that one defense witness did not appear before the court. Because of that situation, the prosecution requested permission to close that stage of the defense case. However, the court chose another approach. Instead of closing that part of the proceeding, the judge granted an adjournment and scheduled another hearing. This decision means that the legal process will continue. Both sides will have another opportunity to present evidence and witness before the court reach any decision regarding the defense objection. Well, the next court session could become an important moment in the case. The defense has requested that officials from the officer police unit appear before the court. These witnesses may help explain whether the officer was official on duty when the alleged incident happened. Their testimony could assist the court in determining whether certain police law apply in this case. The judge will carefully examine the evidence presented by both sides before making any legal decision. That is how courts are expected to operate. They consider fact, examine evidence, listen to witness, and apply the law. Whenever a criminal or disciplinary case receives public attention, emotion often become very strong. Many people quickly form opinion after seeing videos or reading report online. However, legal experts often remind the public that every person is entitled to due process. A due process means that court should make decision based on evidence presented during legal proceeding rather than public opinion. This principle protects everyone. It protects victims by giving them an opportunity to present evidence. It also protects accused individuals by allowing them to respond to allegations made against them. Fair trial helps strengthen confidence in the justice system. Well, that is it. If you are new to Changfied YouTube channel, I would like you to the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. Thank you for watching and bye-bye.